Okay, now we're down to the head and the spine line. That head line starts between your thumb and your Jupiter finger. It goes across your palm, and that's going to tell you how smart you are by how straight across your palm it goes. By the way, yours is very intelligent. Yours goes right across. But you got a line that comes down off that that's a depression line. See how it goes into that Mount of Luna area? You don't want to see anything go in that Mount of Luna area. That's not a good sign. Go back to in between your thumb and your Jupiter finger and find your chart now that says Understanding Your Cervical Spine. And look down at the bottom of that chart. It's going to show a picture of a vertebrae. I better explain why. I'm not just a palm reader. I've actually got a master's degree in health education, and I was finishing up my master's degree at college in my 40s. I'm an old school teacher, and I started reading these palmistry books, and my gosh, they told so much about the health in the body. It was unbelievable. And I've got hold of one book that's written by a Dr. Eugene Scheiman. He's a medical doctor, and he told how the spine shows in this headline. Most of your palmistry books just call it the headline, but it's actually the head and the spine line. And he told how the spine showed, and if the spine was out of place, it's going to show in that line. Very easy for those vertebrae in your spine to get out of place. See that little picture of that vertebrae where it says on that chart that says your cervical spine? Two nerves come off the spinal cord, and they exit from each side of each one of those vertebrae. Now find your chart that says, just a minute, I have to look, I can't remember this name. Chart of Effects of Spinal Misalignments. And see the spine there on the left-hand side? And then right next to that is the name of the vertebrae with a little line that goes to it. Cervical, thoracic, lumbar, tailbone. The next column is the areas. That's the areas of the body that those little nerves go to that come off of each one of those vertebrae. Your head, your scalp, your eyes, your ears, your nose, your cheeks, your vocal cords, your neck, your thyroid, your heart, your lungs, your stomach, etc. And then that last column is the effects. And that's the effects you get if that vertebrae is turned out of place and it's pinching those nerves that exit those vertebrae. Easy for you to get your vertebrae out of place. Easy. You can have a little accident, a car accident, a bicycle accident, a horse accident, doing gymnastics, contact sports is really hard on it. If you were raised in, well, you didn't say if you were raised in the United States or Ukraine. I don't know what kind of sports. It's soccer. Soccer is really hard on your spine. Football's just terrible. If you have any little boys, I'd think twice before putting them in football. Gymnastics, dancing, things like that twist your spine around, they're hard on your spine. And it looks to me like you've got some problems there in that spine. I can see you've got problems in the spine, so it looks to me like you've probably been doing something that's messed that up a little bit. It just falling sometimes can mess up your spine. So where the little circles are on that line, that's where the spine's out of place. So underneath that Jupiter finger, that's going to show your cervical vertebrae. That's the C. Look in the chart there. 1 cervical through 7 cervical, it's C. And then underneath the Saturn finger, that's going to show your thoracic vertebrae. 1T through 12T. Under the Sun finger, it'll show your lumbar spine. 1L through 5L. And under the little finger, the Mercury finger, it'll show your tailbone, your sacrum, and your coccyx. Now, if it's out of place, it makes one of those little islands, and you got a bunch of them in there. Looks to me like you've been doing gymnastics or dancing or something like that that's messed your spine up, or playing soccer or something, or you had a car accident, because boy, that spine's sure messed up. Underneath that Jupiter finger, I think you're out all the way, except I don't think you're out at the 1C, 2C. That's the atlas and axis, and they sit up underneath the skull. And I don't think you're out there. But you're sure out 3C through 7C. And then you're out about halfway, all the way down on that thoracic in that spine. Oh, by the way, that 6C, that'll cause depression. That's what's causing that depression line you got there. Let's see, thoracic, all out, all the way down through about 8T. 8 thoracic, that's your heart, your lungs, your stomach. That's what's messing that heart line up in there. That's making all those little islands in your heart line. So see how it shows all the Saturn finger? That shows that you're out all the way down almost. You got one little section there that's not out of place, but the rest of it is out of place. And then you got a big circle on both sides of that line. Under that sun finger, your tailbone is a wreck. Oh my gosh. That tailbone's way out of place. If you're out of place in the top part of that spine, it's going to throw your lower spine out the opposite way to compensate. And boy, is that out. Now, there's another line that's called the health line that's right underneath where your money line starts. And see, that health line it's a kind of a vertical line. It's on a slant. It starts at the fate line, and it goes up towards the head line. But you should see one clean line in there, and you're getting a whole bunch of little messy lines right underneath that money line, which is stress. Your internal organs, that's your colon, your spleen, your liver, your generally stuff in your lower part of your body. And that's what's causing it to be stressed, is that you're out in that low spine. You're out of place in that low spine.